Yes guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 fat loss cheat codes that I wish I knew sooner when I first started out on my journey. Now I've wasted years trying to get lean. I've made every mistake that you can imagine, from carb cycling to no carbs in the evening to no carbs full stop, hours and hours of cardio, high rep training to try and burn more body fat. I've done it all. So if I could go back in time, these are the top 10 fat loss cheat codes that would have made my life, a whole lot easier, and hopefully will make your life a whole lot easier too. Now, first things first, calories reign supreme. This is number one, whether we want to admit it or not. If you feel like you're doing everything, you feel like you're training, you feel like you're eating right and you're just not dropping any weight, you are simply eating too much food every single time for every single person, okay? Now, what we need to do, guys, is we need to find our maintenance calories. And if you're training and eating right and you're not dropping, you're obviously eating above that. So we need to find our maintenance calories. That's the first thing we do. Just go online, type in online calorie calculator, the first one that's there, put in your stats, weight, age, do you train 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and find your maintenance. From there, we drop 250 calories below. Not 1,000 calories below, 250 calories below this number. Now, where most people go wrong, guys, is they'll drop 1,000 calories under the number. Cardio goes through the roof. They're training every single day. No, if we want to lose body fat and keep it off, okay, we need a small deficit. So rule number one is create a small deficit. And if you feel like you have, no, you haven't. If your weight isn't coming down, you have not created that deficit. And guys, of course, these calculators aren't 100% accurate. If you drop 250 calories below your maintenance and you run it for 7 to 14 days, doing everything else right, and you are not dropping, that isn't your maintenance. You've got to probably go 250 below. These are just guidelines, but they're good to start there. Now, cheat code number 2 is weights over cardio. I still can't believe how much I have to talk about this. I get on calls most days with guys who just love doing cardio. And I was one of those guys too. I used to ramp up cardio as high as possible. I thought cardio in a fat loss phase, no cardio in a muscle building phase, because, you know, cardio burns muscle. But the issue with driving cardio up very high is it drives fatigue up very high. It drives hunger up very high. And we know that when hunger is very high and fatigue is very high, you're almost like a ticking time bomb. It's very hard to stick to the deficit. And as I've spoken about in these videos before, the guy that gets leanest is the guy that can stay within his deficit longest. And if you drive cardio up too high, you'll get too hungry. You can't stick to the deficit. Cardio burns calories. That's what we use it for. It's a tool in our toolbox to burn calories, just like steps, you know, and walking. Weight training is what builds muscle. We need to build muscle. If we want to be lean, get lean, stay lean, we want to have as much muscle as possible. Prioritize weight training in your fat loss phases. It's great for metabolism, it's great for long-term fat loss, and it actually helps you look good. Now, I want to show you two of my clients here. So we've got Gurmeet and Simon. These guys, one was a 12-weeker, one was, I think, 17 weeks. Look at the physique. They've built muscle and they've lost body fat. And these guys did minimal cardio. 45 minutes of cardio a week, both of them, 3 15-minute sessions at the end of their training. This is proof that training builds the physique. Cardio does burn calories, but we have to prioritize training. These guys look like they've been on a 6-month bulk beforehand. No, they've simply lost body fat from the deficit and built or kept muscle from the training. It's as simple as that. Now, cheat code number 3, okay? We need to start slow and speed up as we go. We don't just start with 1,000 calorie deficit, 6 cardio sessions a week. You start as slow as possible. Think of fat loss as a marathon, not a sprint. You wouldn't come out of a 10K race if you're running, sprinting. You start at a nice slow pace. Well, it's a 10K, but you get what I'm saying, okay? Remember, if you can't stick to your plan, you will not maintain the result you get from the plan. These 1,000 calorie deficits with high cardio, with loads of training, CrossFit sessions, high rock sessions, runs all the time, it's a one-way ticket to a rebound, okay? You need to think long-term for fat loss success. We start with the smallest deficit possible, 250 calories, the smallest amount of cardio possible, 10 to 15 minutes post-workout. Over time, you creep up steps, you creep up cardio, decrease calories, creep up steps, creep up cardio, decrease calories. You don't just come out the gate sprinting, because most of you, unfortunately, you have a fair amount of fat to lose. And these huge deficits with this huge output straight away, it's just a one-way ticket to failure. And guys, if you want to make this as easy as possible, I've literally built a course called The Complete Physique, where I'll show you exactly how to train, how to eat, how to maintain, and more importantly, how to reverse diet. The link is in the bio, and I've also got my high ticket coaching, which is for people, my premium coaching for the guys that are a bit more serious and want that one-to-one help. Now, those are the first three. Number 4, okay, we create, similar to number 3, we create the deficit from output. This is a fat loss cheat code I wish I knew at the start. Try and create the deficit from output. And what I mean by that is, when we think of fat loss, we think about just dropping our calories, just, dropping the calories, no carbs, eating super clean, vegetables, protein. Yes, of course, but if we can just be in a very small deficit, that 250 deficit as I spoke about, and then we think, right, let's push the steps, let's push the cardio, and let's push the training, okay? By pushing those 3 first, it's going to allow us to burn more calories. And by doing so, we can keep calories as high as possible. If we can keep calories as high as possible, we can keep energy as high as possible. We can keep weight training as heavy as possible. We can keep as much muscle as possible. These are huge, huge wins. Of course, there has to be a deficit, but we start with output and slowly decrease food. But we really want to push output, so walking, cardio, training, that sort of stuff first. I want to show you another one of my clients, Ricky here, who really did this nice and slow. Look at his physique. That was done over 12 months, okay? Can you imagine if I just dieted him into the ground from day one? He is the same weight in both pictures there, and I think it's 83 kilos after 12 months. This is what's possible if you focus on training, you don't over diet someone, and you have a long-term approach. Too many guys are just trying to get ripped in 6 weeks, and as I said, it's a one-way ticket to a rebound. Now, cheat code number 5, one of my favorites, is we need to calorie bank for weekends, okay? This is where most people lose their progress. I've coached hundreds and hundreds of guys. I've coached hundreds of women as well. Most people blow it on weekends. I think we can all agree. I'm the same. If I'm going to screw up, it tends to be on a weekend. Guys, the biggest fat loss cheat code I can think of is calorie banking for weekends, okay? There's so many different reasons why this is beneficial. First of all, it allows you to have a social life. We are not in the game of just training and sitting at home and eating chicken and egg whites. We want to be able to go out with our friends, have a couple of drinks at dinner, go out with your partner, go on a date and not be a freak eating dry chicken breast. We do this by calorie banking, and I see so many people fail here. At the start of the week, Monday through to Thursday or Friday, try and bank some calories. If you're eating 2,500 calories a day, try and eat 2,250 calorie days. Save 250 calories Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's 1,000 calories on Saturday. And it's so easy. Just fast in the morning. Skip breakfast. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think, oh, because I skip breakfast, I'm going to lose all of my muscle. No, you're not. You're going to be fine. But calorie banking allows you to go out and enjoy your dinners. It allows you to have a couple of drinks if you need them. But of course, guys, we want to go low alcohol, low calorie alcohol options. We want to be sensible at dinner. You can calorie bank 250 calories Monday to Thursday and easily do 2,000 calories over on a Saturday, as I'm sure you're all fully aware. Now, another issue I used to run into, cheat code number 6, is I used to make huge adjustments. So, guys, small adjustments over big ones are fine when it comes to losing fat. If your body weight has stalled for 7 to 10 days, remember guys, you shouldn't be making changes until 2 weeks where your body weight stays the same. And a lot of the time I see people freaking out and making changes after 4 or 5 days because they've plateaued or they've stalled. No, you haven't. If your weight is held for 2 weeks in a row, holding, then we look to make our changes. And remember what I said at the start? We go output first. Look at your day. Because you're different to me, we're all different. Look at your day. If you're working 12 hours a day and you have no extra time and you're absolutely slammed and you've got a newborn baby, pull some calories, obviously. But if you're working 9 till 4 and you watch 2 hours of TV a night, go and get your steps up, go and do some extra cardio. You're a perfect candidate for more output. And a lot of the times, guys, it's very small changes that are needed to just move the needle again. I think 100 to 200 calories off of your food is enough to start moving again. 5 to 10 minutes of added cardio to each session is enough to start moving again. 1,000 extra steps per day, 7,000 steps a week is enough to start moving again. I've seen people, coaches that I know, who after 2 weeks their weight doesn't change, they drop 500 calories, they go from 20 minutes cardio to 45 minutes cardio 5 times a week, and they go from 10,000 steps a day to 15,000 steps a day. Yeah, they will lose fat over the next 2 weeks, but they're the same guy that binges at night time and doesn't tell you, and then tells you that they don't want to be lean anymore. Small changes are all it takes. Remember, we want to make these little changes because it allows us to stay consistent. You wouldn't make all these changes at once. We've got these little dials. Think we've got calories, we've got walking, we've got cardio, and we've got training. If your weight stalls, just creep one of those dials up and then let your body adjust. Creep another one up. You don't do all 4 at once. It's just, you're throwing too much at it. Slow and steady, small changes over big changes. Now, cheat code number 6, this is going to piss quite a few people off. It is diet drinks and sweeteners work. What is the goal of fat loss? It's to stay in your deficit for the longest amount of time. And if I'm tired and hungry and I need a kick, and I can have a black coffee, which I don't really like, but I've got 2 sweeteners in it, and now I do kind of like it, for me, that's a win, okay? If it was a white Monster or a sugar-free, or a C4 or a sugar-free Red Bull, yes, I'd be bloated for half an hour, I get that. But if it holds me to my next meal and it satisfies a sweet tooth and stops me from binging on my diet, I would say it was worth it. Now, where I live in Bali, I can't get C4s and Monsters, so I go for black coffees. The 2 sweeteners that I put in, does it create like a little bit of bloating? Yes. Do I care? Does it hold me to my next meal? Am I going to be sat here for the next 3 hours filming videos, hungry? Doesn't matter. I've got my coffee, I've got my water. It helps me stay in my deficit. Use these things sparingly. A Diet Coke in between meals once a day. Are you going to die of cancer? Probably not, okay? If it curbs your appetite, it is your friend in a deficit. Remember what I said, who gets leanest? The guy that can stick within his deficit the longest and doesn't feel like he's suffering and doesn't feel like he's super restrictive around his lifestyle. He's the guy that probably isn't going to fall off binge and fall off his diet. Use these things sparingly, they do work. Now, cheat code number 8, after I've just told you to drink C4s and Monsters, is green shakes. This is something that not many people really talk about. I don't really see it much around coaches and around people training anymore. When my goal is to get in shape and stay lean, think this is my job, guys. I need to be lean all the time. I never want to be overweight. If you look, I'm always pretty much in shape all the time. I like to feel full, okay? And now, a green shake, first thing in the morning, in between meals, before bed. First of all, it's great for your digestion, okay? It's going to make you more regular going to the bathroom. It's full of micronutrients. As a guy, as you're dropping calories, we tend to be deficient in some micronutrients because you're eating lean chicken, you're eating egg whites instead of whole eggs, these sort of things. So we tend to be deficient in certain micronutrients. If you are loading up a green shake, okay, think, 5 to 10 handfuls of spinach into a NutriBullet, push down, 5 to 10 handfuls of kale, a whole cucumber, some ginger, some lemon, and then you can put maybe an apple in there or some frozen berries. I'd always put an apple in mine, a green apple with some water and ice. It doesn't taste that bad. Calories, 150 tops, okay? It fills you up. You can blend it up into a big shake. You can have it with meals, in between meals, first thing in the morning, pre-bed. It's micronutrient dense, it's full of fiber, it's full of goodness. It's going to go right through you. It keeps you full. What a massive win. It's one of the biggest cheat codes ever. I still do it to this day, even in Bali. I've got my blender. Green shakes. Does it taste like a Lotus milkshake? No. Who cares? And when you're in a deficit and you're hungry, Trust me, everything tastes good. Anyone watching this that's on a diet right now knows it's a great way to fill you up in between meals, and it's so, so good for you. Green shakes, cheat code number 8. Now, cheat code number 9, something you guys have heard me rave about for 14 months. I've had this channel now, is setting yourself up for the fat loss phase in the first place. Why does no one still talk about this? Everyone wants to be lean, everyone wants to have muscle, but nobody wants to talk about what happens after you get lean or what happens at the end, during the gaining phase. Before you even think about going into a fat loss phase, we want to get ourselves in a healthy position to do so. This is why I'm big on reverse dieting or increasing calories to try and drive metabolism up. If you are somebody that's eating, you don't know what you're eating, right? And every time you try and lose weight, you've got to drop down to 1,800 calories to do so. You're going to have a tough time. People that train with me or in my coaching business, I'll take them through a fat loss phase to begin with. I'll reverse diet them out. I'll then reverse them up as high as possible so they get to a point where they can eat as many calories as possible while still maintaining as lean a condition as possible, ideally somewhere around where they finish their fat loss phase. They are then in an amazing position to go into a lean gaining phase and build more muscle, or maybe they want to diet down and get even leaner than before, but on more calories. Setting yourself up for a successful fat loss phase is a cheat code that no one does, okay? If you finish a fat loss phase at 2,000 calories and you've gone from, 90 kilos to 80 kilos or whatever, 200 pounds to 180 pounds, whatever it is if you're in America. From there, imagine you're 80 kilos, you've finished at 2,000 calories, your cardio is very high, your steps are very high. You are primed to gain fat. If you then stop training, go on holiday for a few weeks and just go and live your normal life when your hunger is that high, you are a fat storing machine. And we've all been there. We've all had these rebounds. It's soul destroying when you put all that work in and you rebound hard. It's soul destroying. To go back into the deficit when you're still hungry, you blew it, 5 kilos will come on very, very quickly. But if we take that same person, this is what I do to everybody that gets lean with me, okay? That same person's at 2,000 calories. You up him to 2,200 calories and you sit him there for 2 weeks. Then you up him to 2,400 calories and you sit him there for 2 weeks. And you slowly creep him up while simultaneously slowly decreasing cardio. That same guy who was finished at 2,000 calories can get to nearly 3,000 calories and be relatively similar in body fat levels. But he's now holding his weight at 2,800 or 3,000 calories. That is a huge deal. You have set him up for success. He can go and have the holiday and won't rebound too hard. He can go into a successful gaining phase, build muscle from a really lean position. His metabolism is on fire. But it takes kind of 6 to 8 weeks after a fat loss phase to get this right. And that's when people are at their hungriest or when people finish their plans. I've had a lot of people train with me. They'll do 12 weeks. They'll get lean. They'll say, right, thanks, Max, I'm off. And I say to them, so what's the plan? They're like, yeah, no, I'm happy. I think, no. I'll see you in 3 months when you come back. You need to do a reverse diet. It is the most important part. It allows you to build more muscle, hold a leaner condition, eat more calories. It makes it easier to bulk, easier to cut. It is, I don't understand how people don't talk about this. I've got loads of videos on reverse dieting, by the way, if you want to watch them as well. And then last but not least, cheat code number 10, one of the most important ones that everyone seems to get wrong as well is we have cheat meals. We do not have cheat days. There is no such thing as a cheat day. A cheat day ruins your whole week, but a planned cheat meal can satisfy a sweet tooth, fill you out, be great if you've got a big training session the next day, can refill like your social batteries if you can go out with your friends, can wash off diet fatigue, but if done correctly. I have people that train with me as well, and they'll say, when's my first cheat day? And I just think, when I read that message straight away, I just think, you're never going to get it. It's never going to happen for you if that's the first thing you say to me after about 4 minutes of being on plan. You need to fit cheat meals in. Let's take that same person who's eating 2,000 calories per day, okay? Let's give him 1,500 calories Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? So we've banked 1,500 calories Yes, he suffered a bit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but those 1,500 calories on Saturday, he can go 3,500 calories, 3,500 calories on Saturday. Imagine if he fasts in the morning, has a small lunch at 12 o'clock and goes into dinner with 3,000 calories in the bank. Is it the best thing to do for your digestion? No. Is it the smart thing to do? No. Does it stay within your weekly calories? Yes. Is he going to enjoy it? Yes. Is he going to feel great afterwards? No. Is his training session the next day going to be incredible? Yes. Is he still going to lose the same amount of fat across a 7-day period because overall calories are the same? Yes. But he's going to feel great. Sunday morning, he's going to get up, have a great session. Fitting cheat meals into your calorie target is not cheating. It's strategic eating. But I know people who will have cheat days and they'll do 5, 6, 7,000 calories on one day, and they blow not only their deficit, they blow 2 weeks worth. And these are the same people that go up and down, and 4 weeks later they're the same weight. There's no such thing as cheat days, only planned cheat meals. And that's going to bring me to the end of this video. I know it's a long one, guys. If you found this video helpful in the new studio, give it a like, subscribe. If you want me to answer your questions, just drop me a comment. I always film these videos. Most of these videos I'm filming are just from questions. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.